Hey, what's up, everybody? I tried the intro thing there. It sounded a little loud on my end. Let me know how loud was that because it definitely. I was trying to figure out how to lower the volume, and apparently, once it starts, you can't. So, but we're here. We are going to do some fourth quarter drafts today. I spent a lot of the morning messing around with my rankings for it. We're going to enter right now. We're going to see where we're at. We instant filled. So sorry if you guys were hoping to play along, at least for the first one, but we got in instantly. That's crazy. These usually take a little while to fill, so it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. We have five currently watching. I mean, not bad for this quick, and we pull the 1-on-1. That's awesome. Feels really good. And how's everybody been doing today? Anything interesting going on? We have Pepper Tony here. We got Scott. Detroit does have four dome games in this, and that does kind of lean like their players should be a little higher. Uh, I am a little worried that if Dan Campbell continues to call plays, that they will try to feature Jameson Williams a little bit more, and Amon Ra will like. I'm not saying Amon Ra is going to be a bad pick. Like he still had a fine week last week, right? Like he had a. Oh yeah, he doesn't show the week by week here. He had like 50 some yards and a touchdown. I mean, he was still perfectly fine. But for a first round pick, I don't know if he's going to offer the same. I'm not going to ignore him. I'll still take some of him. At minimum, he's going to help you advance every week because he's very consistent. He had 8 targets, three in the red zone, 5 receptions, 1 touchdown, and 58 yards and a touchdown. So for full PPR, he had 13.3 points. So that's not bad. Yeah, and what's up, Fantasy Monster? QBs do matter. Is that Thad? You changed your name? Uh, I'm guessing maybe. Yeah. So this goes pretty close to what my rankings are. I don't have JSN at 3 or 4. I like Chase and Puka ahead of JSN still, especially if we're going to get Burrow back. I did move Burrow up in my ranks quite a bit. Uh, I do think he will be starting by week 1 of this contest. That is something to look for. Other players like Trey McBride with Marvin Harrison getting an injury, like he had a surgery. He'll probably be back for the start of this contest, but things are starting to feel like everything's falling apart over there as well. The one, the only, Thad. What's good? What's good, man? How we doing? Yeah, so I do think the 4 dome games is awesome. Uh so like Jackson or Jonathan Taylor gets Jacksonville twice though, and it's kind of hard, and San Francisco in the middle there. It's kind of and the best advanced week. Uh, you have Seattle, which that's the worst game, but he's got 3 awesome matchups in this. So we can click ADP and see how much different I have in the rankings here. Slayton likes the poll. It took a minute to figure out 4 options, just so you are aware. But I think that I do have Trey McBride above Brock Bowers in this. Um, a couple reasons. Number one, he's been an absolute dominant force. Number two, he gets Cincinnati week 17. Number three, Brock Bowers plays Denver, Philly, Houston. So I like Trey McBride over him. Bucky Irving is most likely going, like almost for sure going to be playing by that point. So I moved him way up, and Judkins has an awesome schedule here. I also moved Genty way down because of the matchup as well. Yeah, and so like I would love to get McBride, Bucky here. Yeah, well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go Trey McBride and we're gonna go Bucky Irving. Uh tight end one, running back one. Up like Bucky's schedule is awesome. You get New Orleans, Atlanta, at Carolina, Miami. The only cold weather game there might be Carolina. Yeah, the fantasy gods must hate me to goose me one week and give me Jameis to bet on the next. Yeah, I almost just took Jameis Slayton in a Wildcat. That I took Josh Jacobs. I will have a Jameis Winston, Josh Jacobs, Darius Slayton team somewhere. That is going to happen. I'm not going to recommend you follow, but I will definitely have that. I'm not getting hoodwinked by Bowers one good game. Yeah, like I do think that in the middle of the third, he's still a fine pick. But Trey McBride has been the guy all season. As Hayden Winks pointed out, he's number 3 as a like if he was a receiver, he would be number 3 in expected fantasy points right now. Over the last month. So like it's if he's producing like a receiver one, and that was essentially the Bowers thesis, right? Is that he's basically a receiver one. But the fact is that Trey McBride is actually that guy. So I have Trey McBride one, and like he gets the best matchup you could possibly ask for. Cincinnati is so much like we'll go over to fantasy points real quick and look at tight end. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this already. Cincinnati Bengals 4.1 additional fantasy points to the tight end group than number 2. And number 2 is significantly worse than number 3. And number 3 is significantly worse than number 4. So like they are incredibly bad versus tight end. Which they're probably going to be even worse after this week when Arthur Smith throws 4 touchdowns to different tight ends. So I doubt that number gets any better. All right, let's look and see what we have going on here. Hampton's getting pulled up. I did pull Hampton up way up in my rankings. I'm not exactly sure where he landed. It was somewhere around there though. Genty going down here, that feels about right. That is almost exactly where I ranked him. The Brees Hall is iffy right now. Like he doesn't have that bad of a schedule. RJ Harvey comes all the way up to 37. He got a nice week 17 game with Rice and Harvey. He like if he's trying to build that out, that makes sense because Harvey and Waddle aren't making it. Like Waddle goes around there, or that's where I ranked him somewhere in here. But he has that week 17 correlation, which is nice. So all I have are wide receivers ranked around here, huh? So we got Zay Flowers, who has some decent matchups there. And Olave, I kind of just threw these all together pretty close. I absolutely nuked AJ Brown. I think he's deserved of it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just go with the way I ranked it, and we're going to see how this team works out. As of right now, I could have auto-drafted this team based on my rankings. we'll see how it ends up feeling at the end of the thing. I actually think that Tyler Shuck is a positive boost for Olave. I think Tyler Shuck has looked okay. So I'm in. He's getting all the targets. Shahid's gone. They get Tennessee week 17. They get the Jets without Sauce. They get Tampa Bay. They get Carolina. Like, that is an awesome schedule. A really, really good schedule. Let's go look at the fantasy points over here. We will apply that. So Tampa was one of them. Their top half. It was Tampa, Tennessee, right there. Who else did he play? Let me look. Then Carolina and the Jets. So I guess Carolina and the Jets aren't that bad. Carolina is actually good against wide receivers, and the Jets are top 12. So, but the Jets also just got rid of 3 defensive players. So I do expect that to get a lot worse. I will be half the Jameis ownership in the hurry up this week. It does feel like the Packers aren't a great first game either, right? I wish he was against anybody but the Packers. Like the Packers to me pose quite a bit of a threat, but luckily they're not good on the back end. So Jameis can do his thing, take 3 steps and moonball, right? Throw the ball deep. And to me, that's a Darius Slayton week. I do think that if a Giants receiver does a lot, I feel pretty confident that it will be Darius Slayton this week. I think the game will profile that way just by looking at things. Drake May's still here. I would love to get Drake May all the way back. I know that he has a bye week, week 14, but I would be very happy to get him to come all the way back. Dalton Schultz has the nerve to miss practice with a shoulder injury after getting a game of 11 targets. Yeah, I've already taken him twice. So before that news came out, I'd already taken him a couple times. Feels real good. Real good. And so I don't see anything standing out except for Dan here is auto drafting almost assuredly. He got Marvin Harrison there, and then he took Drake May, who was also top of the queue. I believe Josh Allen was top of the queue. So I'm going to guess that he is auto drafting. Ike Money might be auto drafting as well. So let's see what is available for us. I don't mind this. I actually moved Woody Marks way up in my rankings too. I moved him up about 10 spots. I kind of like he gets Arizona, Vegas, and the Chargers. I kind of like the matchups there. Baker feels pretty good. I do definitely like. I will take the skinny Baker to Bucky stack if it makes it to me. And I probably go ahead and take Woody Marks. Like it's not exactly by my rankings, but I think that it's just way easier in this contest to get wide receivers later than it is running backs. So through 7 rounds, through 7 rounds, we got Baker, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Woody Marks, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, and Trey McBride. This team will be a little weaker at wide receiver, but I don't care. I honestly don't care about that. His only reason to exist is to fill in for Tyler Warren week 11. Oh, for your third quarter? I was hoping that the third quarter pods were out by now. Right? The pods are not out yet. I did get one third quarter team to advance through. It wasn't my fun team, but this is the team I got to advance. Baker, Flacco, Gino, Kyron, ETN, Mason, Algier, Caleb Johnson, RIP Marshawn Lloyd. But JSN, Egbuka, DJ Moore, Jennings, Trey Tucker feels fine, but not great. And then Loveland and Ferg. So it's definitely not my strongest team. This was my strongest team. It had Bijan, Barkley, Rico, Aaron Jones, Adams, Worthy. Like, this team was really good. This is the team I needed Barkley to smash, and it did not happen. I only did 9 of them, so I have one of them advancing to the third week. That feels like it's pretty solid to get at least one advancing. Alec Pierce, I moved up as well. Book It Boy is drafting a very good team. I actually removed Garrett Wilson until we find out more about his knee. That could be the wrong move, but I do kind of like, if he does come back, he's a fine pick. I'm just curious if he will. But all of the players I've moved up in my rankings are other than Garrett Wilson are players that he's taking. I actually moved Pierce ahead of Michael Pittman. I moved Pittman way down. Like, I think I moved him. I moved Pittman down quite a bit. He's been getting a lot less volume. So it looks like Dan either made it back or was never auto drafting. I'm not sure which. So we have 3 starting running backs, in my opinion. We have a skinny stack there. We have Flowers. We have Olave. I pulled Jawan Jennings up the board quite a bit, as you see, based on the regular rankings. Like, my rankings, his ADP is 105. I put him at 85. I moved Joe Burrow all the way up to 95 from 127. So we're going to go with Jawan. And we might do a stack here. And what do we want to do? Do we want to do the stack? I think I just want Jackson Dart, actually. We'll make this a 3 quarterback team. We'll take Dart. I think I like that. We won't have him that first week. We could just rely on Baker versus New Orleans and hope that works out. Like, I do think that, I think that's fine. I have a mini game stack built in there with Bucky Irving, Olave, and Baker Mayfield. Dart's schedule is pretty solid at the end. I will probably just throw in like a Bryce Young, or not a Bryce Young, but like a Geno Smith in the last round or something. Cam Ward, actually not good. Cleveland that week. Maybe Mariota. Like, I mean, the obvious answer is I would love to get Tyler Shuck on this team, having Chris Olave. So if I could get Shuck in round 16 or whatever, I will do it. If I got to take him earlier than that, I may just risk it. But we'll see. We'll see what comes back to us. So, as you see, running backs go way earlier here because we know what to expect for the most part. Schuster here got 9 of 18 through by Solo Bowers over and over again. He got 1 team through out of 9. And Bijan, Henderson, Barkley, Dowdle, Bijan. Nice. Elam team lost by 18. I mean, at least it wasn't close. If you lose the eliminator, you want it to not be close, right? Like, if you lost by like 0.7, you'd be upset because that means there was a holding call or something that cost you, right? If I lose, I want to lose by a significant margin. Tyler Shuck to Olave crushed. Tyler Shuck is a solid player right now. He really is. Yeah. I'm sure you weren't happy watching that early game going against Taylor. I was thinking about you whenever I was watching that game. I'm like, that not good for Schuster. this ain't good for Shu. Yeah, I advanced 3 of my 9 teams to round 2. The third team it got smashed. It had a couple people on bye. It had CD Lamb and Chase Brown on bye. It didn't hold very well. Yeah, it's something that there's enough volume out there to prove that that's just something they're going to do. I was very, very in on Bijan going into the year. I didn't think they were going to goal line carry with Algier the whole year. They done it a little bit last year, but not a bunch. So I don't understand it. They keep talking it up, but I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. I also moved Jerry Jeudy way up in the ranks. He goes at 130. That's like 3 rounds later than he was going before. And I moved Tajay Spears ahead of Tony Pollard. I don't know if that's correct, but I do think that that's how I would like to play it. And I do have Olave, so if Spears goes, I will take Pollard. But we'll go Jerry Jeudy, and we will go Tajay Spears. But I think Jeudy will be climbing up these boards. We got a new play caller in Cleveland. Stefanski was removed of the play calling duty, and as soon as that happened, the wide receivers started getting targets. So, and Jerry Jeudy was going at the 7-8 turn, actually early 7th round for a lot of the offseason. Or actually, it was early 6th round. He was going at the 6-7 turn. And he ended up going early 7th at the end of the year. But if we're getting him in round 10 or 11, like he's going to round 11 right now, if he starts getting the volume, he's going to go up a round or 2. He is one of my targets this week, because I think if we see this again next week, I think Jerry Jeudy I think he'll move up like 2 full rounds. That's my opinion. And so I'll draft him a round and ahead. I hope I face all Taylor teams in the third quarter this week. I hope I face a Taylor team as well. I don't like my team that I got through. I don't really love it. So, like, Kyron is getting he's splitting the workload. He's got a good defense he's going against. Jordan Mason got his job taken away. Algier, like, at least he could get touchdowns. And ETN, like, I just hope I get 2 running backs with 12 points. And then that JSN and Igbuka smash. Like, that's how I advance. I do like the way my team looks for the week. Like, if it can get to the finals, I think it has enough upside to do something. I think I have plenty of upside at wide receiver. And I think a lot of the teams that advance through will have heavy running backs. I went wide receiver, and then slammed running backs on that team. I don't think a lot of those kind of teams. Pods are out now. I was just looking at it. Oh, yep. They literally just launched. After this, we will look at my third quarter pod. I haven't looked at it yet. I will look at it live with you guys. We'll see if I get matched with anybody. Yeah, no, like I literally brought it up 10 minutes ago live, and it was not up. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like Spears or Pollard right now? Which do you prefer? I think I'm Spears. I don't think I'm going to 100% take Spears over Pollard. I did do that in my ranks. I put them there in the ranks. So hopefully that doesn't bite me. I mean, Cade Otton or Theo John, like, I will take either one of those. And do I want Jaden Reed? What do I want there? I mean, Blake Corum's probably a pretty good pick, too. I definitely want one of these two. Trevor Lawrence. Honestly, we will take Trevor Lawrence, actually. Since I have Jonathan Taylor, I think I go ahead and take Trevor Lawrence here. Let's look at ADP real quick. RIP Travis Hunter. We're going to actually take Blake Corum and be done at running back. I have a plan. It's not a good plan, but it is a plan. So right now we have 3-5-4-1. We have Baker Mayfield, Jackson Dart, Trevor Lawrence. We took Trevor Lawrence for the double bring back in the Jacksonville thing. We got Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Woody Marks, Tajay Spears, Blake Corum, done at running back for sure. Wide receivers, Flowers, Olave, Jennings, Judy. And then Trey McBride at tight end. We will end at 2 tight ends. And we will end up, this will be a 3-5-9-2. Does that math work out? 3-5-9-2? 3-5-8-2. Yeah, it'll be a 3-5-8-2. So that is what the goal is. I know who I want at this pick. They shouldn't be going yet there. Recent practice news on a player. So that I think a lot of people have forgotten about, which influenced my picks there. And if somebody wants to snipe me on it, if they're watching, great. But the player is, let's look and see where their ADP is. It's a tight end. Britton Strange. I ranked him all the way up at 157. He's at 184. That is the only target other than Parker Washington this year that Trevor Lawrence has been able to actually hit. And he practiced today, or his window opened today. So this contest doesn't start for three more weeks or 4 more weeks, right? So by then he should definitely be playing. I like the Trevor Lawrence. If I can get that, I would love to get the Trevor Lawrence, Brenton Strange, bring back on Jonathan Taylor. I think one of those 2 weeks, that smashes. I had a team get 80th in weekly winners, got 30. Yeah, it's not a good contest. It's fun because you can do stupid things. Like, you can build bad teams and act like it's fine. That's why it's fun. You got Theo Johnson at 160. That's a good pick. Josh Palmer also. All right, I think Dan started as an auto, and then they ended up making it to the computer because at about the Dalton Kincaid pick, they seem to not take the top guy, and Josh Palmer goes pretty late in these. All right, I also moved up Jaden Higgins. And for this team specifically, I know I have Higgins rated ahead, but I will do the bring back as well on if he is there. And if not, we could take DK. That's perfectly fine. No Tyler Shuck on this team. That was part of the plan originally. So we will take Bretton Strange and we will take Malik Washington. So we accomplished what we wanted to do. We got the stack of Trevor Lawrence with Bretton Strange for the bring back of Jonathan Taylor. I don't know why it's only showing the bring back in that week and not in the first week. Let's refresh and see if I break the whole thing or if it fixes it. Nothing happened. And then I got Baker Mayfield to Bucky Irving and Bretton Strange, or with Malik Washington as the bring back there. So we have two players right now with a bye week during the contest. It's Jackson Dart and it's Jawan Jennings. I think I'm just going to roll with the naked dart, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. But Zay Flowers, Olave, Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Malik Washington. I just end with three more wide receivers, and I'm done. I think I like the team. I wasn't planning on taking a third quarterback that early, but I'm not really that bullish on Trevor Lawrence. Like, believe it or not, I'm not really bullish on him. Adonai Mitchell goes at 177. What do you guys think about Adonai at 177? Like he gets to play this week. Garrett Wilson's hurt. I don't hate it. Like, I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. Got one Taylor team in pod. I mean, that it has to feel good to have any, right? I hope I don't run into a lot of Achane. I don't have Achane on my team, and Achane gets the Commanders this week. I think Achane could just cook again. So that's the team I'm hoping to avoid. Undraftable. Are you talking about Adonai Mitchell? I'm assuming Peppertoni talking about Adonai Mitchell. I ranked him very, very late. I don't want to. So I actually need to rank a few more players. Pat Bryant, by the way, is an absolute smash, I think, in this contest. Like, they are starting to use him a little more and a little more. They get Jacksonville, they get the Raiders. I will lose more money on them. It's fine. You don't have to follow me. But I am going to do that. I will take Yoshi Boss as well if he makes it around. I would normally be slamming the table for, you know what? I think we just go ahead and do that. We'll take both of the, do the worst thing you could possibly do and take both of the Browns receivers. what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? We got Tennessee, Chicago, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Like Cleveland has like one of the best matchups versus wide receivers. Pittsburgh, Chicago. What were the other teams? Pittsburgh, Chicago, Tennessee, and Buffalo. I think Tennessee and Buffalo's like middle of the pack. Yeah, Buffalo's here. So Cleveland, although they can't throw the ball, they face 3 of the top 10 worst teams versus wide receivers in the league in this 4-game stretch. So that's another reason I like Jerry Jeudy a lot and I like Tillman a lot. I don't necessarily want to put them both on the same team very often, but I think in this scenario, I think it's fine. Like I do have some Tennessee on my team. I don't have anybody else though. So hopefully Yoshi Boss comes all the way back around. I have Dart, Dino, Rogers. So QB going to be rough. I have similar quarterbacks in mind. Oh, you have Dart. I don't know. Gino could be quarterback 1 this week. Like you have Gino versus the Cowboys and Rogers versus the Bengals. One of those has to be okay. Like one of those has to give you 20 points. I don't think your quarterbacks are in a bad situation. Cleveland's so bad, I'm starting to think they are setting a low baseline for Watson to come back. They are really bad. I do agree. I'm not saying to do what I did here. They just have good matchups. And I'm gonna play the matchup game in this contest, if nothing else. I need some ugly receivers. I'm not gonna do the double Cleveland receiver a lot, but I don't want 0 of it. I plan on doing a lot more of the 4th quarter than I did the 3rd quarter. With Underdog changing the way that they're doing all the daily contests, I'm going to focus these way more than I am the daily contest, because the daily contest, they removed the cover 4, they removed the engage 8, they changed the extra point to double the price on different prize payouts. They changed the victory point to $30 from 20 and made it only top 20 get paid instead of a flatter payout. I don't like any of that, so I'm just going to shift to this. I enjoy these contests more anyway. So that's my plan, is to just do a lot more of these next week and this week. And instead of doing 100-ish, I'm going to do like 40 to 50 of the weeklies. Let's look and see what wide receivers are left. Yoshi Boss is left. Tyler Lockett's left. Let's see what scroll down options I might have missed. All right, Brandon Cooks is draftable. I'm not going to take him. But, I mean, he's draftable. Jennings was a smash in 3rd quarter. Yeah, he was. And Jawan Jennings is going to be a smash in the 4th quarter, too. Tennessee, Indy, Chicago. Like, for best ball playoffs, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, if Pearsall ever gets healthy, to me, they're both smashes. And DeAndre Hopkins, as much as I dislike him, is probably a good pick in this. Walking boot for Bateman, probably bad news. Probably really bad news. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do like deep scrolls very often in this contest, because every week somebody's going to get hurt and a new scroll is going to be available, right? So I think that I want to, unlike in BBM where it's static the whole year and nothing changes or rarely changes, in this contest I kind of want to draft the more drafted players since it's early in the contest. and then I'll do more scrolls the closer we get to start. All right, we have a 3-5-8-2. We got Baker Mayfield, Jackson Dart, Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Woody Marks, Tajay Spears, Blake Corum. Blake Corum, I guess around ADP. Zay Flowers, Olave, Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, and Tillman. Malik Washington, Pat Bryant, and Andre Yoshibas. Tight ends, Trey McBride and Britton Strange. All right. Time to reveal the pod. Don't know any of these. We will do this. All right. No Jonathan Taylor teams. One other JSN team. That other JSN team also has, he just has me covered up. It looks like I need Kyron Williams in a bad matchup is what I need. That is my path. I need Kyron Williams in a bad matchup. I mean, I'm the only Egbuka team as well. But the cleanest path, because like if ETN's the top running back, I could like get there with Algier scoring close to the amount of points that Dowdle does, right? Or Jordan Mason for some reason being successful. I mean, the Bears are a really good running matchup, so there is that. Dowdle has a really good matchup though too. I don't like that this team is in this pod. I think it limits a lot of my outcomes. I'm the only Baker team, and I have Egbuka. So if they go off, I'm kind of good there. Jawan Jennings, I do have Jawan Jennings. I'm the only Jawan Jennings team. I feel really good about my wide receivers, like JSN, Egbuka, Jennings, Tucker versus Dallas, DJ Moore versus Minnesota, and probably a trailing game script with the bring back on Jordan Mason. Like, I have some game script. I have some ability to get there. I got Jake Ferguson through. Jake Ferguson is also a clean out. So it's not the worst. And Caleb Johnson could actually get there against the Bengals, right? Like, he did see a little more play the last couple weeks. I think there's just a chance that he breaks a 60-yarder or something this week. I'm not going to bet on it or anything. I don't expect it. But I need Travis Etienne to have a good week. Like, I'm kind of required him to have a good week. Yeah, I need Kyron to equal Dowdle. I need either Kyron, Algier, or Mason to equal Dowdle, right? If I get that, I feel pretty good about my team. I like the JSN matchup. Okay. Egbuka has a really good matchup versus the Bills. And Adams didn't practice, but Adams a veteran. He's going to play. This is the biggest game for the Rams and the Seahawks on the season. Adams is a professional. It's Wednesday. Wednesday practices for veterans don't mean much. I'm not really that worried about like I would like him to not play for this specifically, but for my overall best ball, like I want him to play, and like I need Kyron Williams to outscore. Basically, I need Kyron to have 20 points ish against Seattle, and with him splitting the workload right now, that doesn't feel likely. There's he's also got Joe Flacco and Geno Smith. Like, what is this? We have JSN together. We both have ETN, but I snuck in Egbuka. And he got Dowdle. I don't know. So that needs to be. So basically, Kyron and Egbuka versus Devontae and Dowdle. He's absolutely crushed me here. Absolutely crushed me. I feel pretty good about my Jennings Tucker versus Henry Andrews. And against the other teams, like McMillan's not been much. Pearsall's not going to play this week. This guy got Dowdle down at the 7th round. And by the way, while we're doing this, I am going to go in the other tab and I'm going to enter a fourth quarter and I'm going to enter in 10 seconds. Entering a fourth quarter, 10 seconds. So for anybody who would like to join now. And then we will go back to looking at that. Waiting for 2. Waiting on 2 people. All right, so back to this. Hopefully you guys can't hear the dog barking over and over and over again. My neighbors put a tarp over the outside dog's cage, and now, like, for the last 2 weeks, it does nothing but bark because it can't see anything. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. Yeah, so I also have a dead player in Godwin, but my dead player is later than most of the other teams. Also a dead player in Marshawn Lloyd. I don't, like, it could be worse. The pod could be worse. I don't love the pod, but the pod could be worse. All right, so we are now live in here. CMC versus Arizona scares me. Yeah, it could be. Loveland Fannin team. Very nice. You said it. Got the influencer 1.11 in your face. All right, we got the 110. We got Coolers at the 111. Pepper Tony at the 105. Ant-Man at the 104. I don't know if you're here, but if you are, thank you for watching. Schuster at the 106. Ike Money in this pod as well. If you're here and watching, thanks for watching. Please smash the like and sub. I don't know if Ike Money is in the chat, but they were in the last one as well. But the last one I queued up basically whenever I got into the draft, and it ended up like instant. It just instant queued. So that first, like, it's not like he was waiting on me to do it. So I do doubt that they are watching, but if they are watching, like, welcome. Oh, he's in your third quarter pod? Nice. All right, yeah, so Pepper Tony takes JSN over Jamar Chase. I think I like Jamar more. The Bengals are averaging like 37 points a game since Flacco's been there, which is insane. Now their defense is giving up more points than that, I think. So it's also insane. Oh, sorry. I was a little thirsty. Josh Jacobs has a really good schedule for this. I like him a slightly more than James Cook, although it might be hard to advance without James Cook. I will definitely, like, I think James Cook and Jacobs are basically the same pick there. I did rank Jacobs higher, so for the video, I'm going to do that. Baltimore's run defense is better, but he gets Chicago's run defense twice in this. As you see, I have McBride all the way up. Jefferson, though, Washington, Dallas, Giants, Detroit. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy, but I do trust J.J. Jefferson or Justin Jefferson to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. He might sell. It doesn't look good. I'm not going to make it a stand to take him a bunch here. I will definitely note that I have a Jacobs Jefferson team and probably not do that combination again. JSN over Puka here. Slightly. Puka much better scheduled. JSN is just on. Yeah, he absolutely is on one. I'm actually. So for the BRs this week, what do you guys have? I'm Jamar Chase 101 versus the Bengals. Like, I like Jamar Chase over CMC. Now, as I've stated before, like in the Discord, I'm gonna end up like 10% CMC and like 20 to 25% Jamar Chase. I also don't want to full fade JSN either. Like, if JSN and Puka end up going ahead of Chase, I will just take a lot less Chase early, right? But for now, I've got several Chase teams. I've did 7 or 8 drafts of my 40. I've got like 4 Chase teams, so I can start just taking ADP now. But in the Dog Bowl, Puka is the 102, and JSN is ahead of Jamar Chase. So I think that Jamar Chase has the best matchup versus Pittsburgh this week, and Joe Flacco is hyper targeting him. So and they're coming off of a bye, like they should be healthy. In Dog Bowl, you have Jacobs at 2. I'm probably there as well. I like Jacobs more than Bijan this week. 1 QB strat, huh? We going Lamar. Wild that the Ravens fan takes Lamar and says 1 QB strat. What is Baltimore's schedule? I know I just took them. I mean, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati is a pretty good start. Yeah, as you see, I did move Hampton up. I didn't move him way up, but I moved him up. I moved him ahead of Dowdle only because of the bye week. And Dowdle also plays Seattle's run defense in the last week of the season, or in the last week. But I also moved the quarterbacks down. I think making sure you get one of these elite players here matter more than the quarterback at this point. But I could be wrong. There's enough startable quarterbacks. If you're willing to go 3 quarterbacks, it's pretty easy to get 20-ish points every week by just taking 3 quarterbacks on every team. You don't have the 35-point ceilings as easily available. So we will take Hampton here. He honestly doesn't have a very good schedule, but I'm fine with that. Brees does have a good schedule though. Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans. Like, that's a very good schedule. Been punting quarterback and tight end mostly. Like, I do think that Jalen Hurts has a pretty good schedule here. Like, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Commanders, and the Bills, like, that's a really good schedule. And I might take him if... So, do I want Hurts or do I want Tyler Warren? We'll stick to the rankings. We'll take Tyler Warren. Like, that's where I had my ranks. That's what I did. We'll stick to it. I kind of like the high upside tight ends in this. AJ Brown isn't draftable at his ADP. That's for sure. Like, I've pure, like, as you see, I have Devonta Smith here, and I have AJ Brown down at 52. So, and I feel very confident that that's the right way to do it, because Devonta Smith is going to give you points every week. He's also got the ability to absolutely like have a gigantic ceiling. AJ Brown at this point is essentially Quentin Johnston, right? Like he, like whenever you go to fantasy, like he's going to disappear some weeks and he's going to dominate some weeks. Like Quentin Johnston from last year. CMC, Jackson Smith, Puka, Chase. That is your BR. Got it. I think the top 5 or 6 picks, I actually think there's like a top 8. I feel the one reason I want more Chase personally is because I think Jaylen Warren is very underdrafted right now. And if you take Chase early, I think that Jaylen Warren is going to end up being like a mid-second round pick. Like I kind of like him more than a lot of the other running backs and BRs right now. And you can get him in the 3rd, and you could go like Jamar Chase plus something into Jaylen Warren, get the game stack, and it feels pretty good. Like I think there's a very, very high chance that could be the game stack you need. Now, it doesn't have to be Jaylen Warren, right? But I like Jaylen Warren this week in that matchup a lot. So Jalen Hurts does go the pick after me. Waddle goes at 41. I need to look at my ranks and see where I have him. I would love to get DeAndre Swift here. I think that people are pretty scared. The usage did kind of go back to Swift having a little more. I think it'll be 60-40. He doesn't have a great overall schedule either. He gets Green Bay twice, but he does get and he's got Cleveland, so that doesn't feel great. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take him. I think that he's falling because of I guess I have opposing running backs twice during this stretch, which doesn't feel the best. But I think that if the usage leans more towards Swift again this week, he will move back up. And either the usage is going to go against him and he's going to fall further, or it's going to go or he's going to move back up a little bit. I'm curious which way it goes. And if like Monangai got hurt, right, like Swift moves way up. He moves up to like Travis Etienne. I wish Underdog would let you export rankings from the website. Yeah, it is. It would be way more fun to do it on Excel, or way more useful to do it on Excel. I think I want to go ahead and do this. We didn't take Drake May the last time. We'll go ahead and take him here. Got a little bit of a discount on him. I think people are starting to warm up to the idea that missing your quarterback that first week does hurt a lot. But if I take, I just make sure I take extra players at the position if I take the bye week guy. And he actually has a pretty okay schedule, Buffalo, Baltimore, and the Jets. Feels like a pretty good schedule to me for Drake May during this contest. Ricky P looking to play this week? Really? Let me look that up. I would love for Ricky P to play. I'm going to look it up right now. Hey, he's good to go, is what Yahoo reported. So hopefully that is true. Was he on? I think one of the teams I was going against had Ricky Pearsall in the pod. I'm going to go back and look at that real quick. All right. So remember what last week when I drafted Burrow last round? I do. I didn't think he'd be back practicing this week. And I didn't think that he was going to try to play this year if they weren't in the playoffs. I thought that, but I forget the Bengals are a dumb organization. They do dumb things continually. So, like, that's on me. That's on me for believing the Bengals would not do something dumb. Because they over and over again prove that they are going to just continually do things that are dumb. So let's bring back our franchise quarterback in a season that's nearly dead. It's not dead, but it is nearly dead, right? I do not like this range. I do not like this at all. I don't want Monangai with Swift. I don't. This does not feel good. We're going to take Shaheed, though, I think. Got a little bring back there. I mean, Worthy was an option there, but he feels pretty bad right now. Like, he feels pretty bad as a pick overall. But I did that. I can take him and then just pull Sam Darnold up, get that stack. Like, I think I'm fine doing that. Shaheed with Sam Darnold. If it's bad enough, it does. Right, yeah, that's the thing. It's dumb. Like, but the Bengals organization continually does things like this, lets their players do things like this. So I mean, it doesn't, like, now that it's here, it honestly doesn't surprise me. I probably should have seen it, but I don't know. Like that last round, I'm very happy about it because I have a Bulldog team that I really like that has two quarterbacks, and those two quarterbacks are Drake May and Joe Burrow. It is this team right here: Drake May, Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, R.I.P. Scadaboo, Joe Mixon. But I like those two. Caleb Johnson is starting to get a little bit of work. Taj Brooks, P. Ryan's hurt, but it's got Lamb, Higgins, Devonta, Keon, Keenan. I guess it's not that good. But I have so many injuries on all of my teams that one feels good to me because it has like fewer injuries than every other advancing team that I have. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, so I think I like doing the dart thing there, or the Darnold and Shaheed thing there. If they do get a connection going over the next couple weeks, they're it's going to be really nice, and he's gonna move up the board a little bit. So I got Josh Jacobs, Amari Hampton, DeAndre Swift. I love Jawan Jennings in this contest. Like I will absolutely take him again if I need to. Actually, I already have. No, I can't because I'm going to need a target for Drake May. I don't have to, but I plan to. Rashad White, probably an okay pick, but not a great pick. Stevenson, by the way, is supposed to be out tomorrow. Like he's officially out already for this week. That doesn't matter for this contest, but I think it does matter for this contest because if they continue to let Travion Henderson cook, they're going to have a really hard time to tell their fans that they want Ramondre out there, right? So it does matter that he's not playing. And the Jets are actually an okay matchup. And right, yeah, I like turf toe. I always kind of made fun of it, but whenever you dig into it, yeah, it's actually a nasty, nasty injury. So why do these teams just rule out players? It's the reason why is because of the way that the IR works. It's a system thing more than anything else. We'll take Trey Tucker. So you're only allowed so many IR spots that are allowed to return. Like it was only like 10 years ago where they finally made it to where they were allowed to bring anyone back off of IR. But it's like a limited number. I think it's like 3 or 4 players can come back from IR. Let me Google search AI this. Up to 8 players to return from injured reserve during the regular season, with the option to bring back 2 additional players for the postseason. So for 10. So, and then there's also other versions of IR to where they're not allowed to bring them back. So, like, that's why Bucky Irving was never placed on IR, because they were using a bunch of the IR spots earlier to try. Like, Mike Evans got placed there so they could bring him back for the postseason, right? So he's locked up on one of those. He might come back at the end of the season if they really need him. That's why Godwin's not been placed on IR, why he was on the PUP list, and then why he didn't get put on IR, because they had the offensive line injuries. Like, they just have so many players on IR. I'm assuming that they want to make sure they keep those spots open, because, like, let's say week 13 somebody gets hurt and you need to put them on IR. Well, you can't. But I mean, I guess at that point you would, like, for whatever reason, the Bucs, like, they're just not putting anyone on IR. I don't know how many players they currently have on IR, but let's see. I don't know where to find this. So, yeah, but it's basically just only fantasy players care if somebody is on IR. Well, right, like, you have 53 men on your roster, but you're only allowed to dress 48, which is kind of like hot dogs and hot dog bunch. You know, why? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you? It doesn't make any sense. think I'll reach down and get a little bit of booty here, maybe. I like the pick of Luther Burden there. I might have taken him. This will be my one wide receiver that is for Drake May. I have all deep shot guys now. I'm going to go ahead and take JJ McCarthy here, assuming that nobody wants JJ McCarthy for the Jefferson stack. And we'll be done at quarterback. This is going to be a thinner running back room than the last one, but any running back room with JT feels really good. Yeah, and the JJ McCarthy did go there to Jace, which probably helps my team out, to be honest. Let's go. Do we want to do that, or do we want to go Harold Fannin? Let's take Harold Fannin and be done at tight end. We'll have, Fannin and Tyler Warren feels pretty solid for tight ends. I ranked Calvin Ridley there. He might play this week. I didn't know you wanted Fannin. You seen my rankings. He was in the top few. And I just took a team with the other guy or I actually just passed on Kate Otten as well. But I'm honestly not sorry. I want to take Harold Fannin. Why is it what do you have going on? The Jerry Jeudy stack with Harold Fannin? Is that what it is? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, what? Why do you have claim to Harold Fannin? Let me know why you have claim to Harold Fannin, and then I'll tell you if I'm sorry or not. How's that sound? If you can have a good case. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I will apologize if you had a good case. But I can't see on your team a specific reason you wanted Harold Fannin, other than Harold Fannin runs funny. Yeah, so let's look at the poll real quick. We got 11 votes. More cooked. Russell Wilson, Sierra's husband, Jameis's backup, or Brian Dable's day one starter. And Russell Wilson won with 55%. Nobody had any fun with it. But thank you for voting. I appreciate it. I had fun making the poll. This poll is now closed. You should have taken your Chief Brown. What Chief Brown? Oh, Kareem Hunt. I assume it's who you're talking about. I mean, I'm kind of down on Hunter Henry right now. I don't think a lot of it looks really good for him. It feels like there's Drake May starting to trust the wide receivers, and he's good throwing down the field. Oh, Hollywood Brown. You said Chief Brown, and I was thinking, what Brown is now a Chief? And that is actually Kareem Hunt. I don't know why my mind went there and not to Hollywood. Hollywood was the obvious answer, but that's not how my mind works. So you guys get Kareem Hunt as the answer. You're welcome. There is a player I really, really want to come back here. The quarterbacks are almost dead. That is for sure. So Coolers has 2, Dak and Caleb. He might be done. He might not. Jace has Burrow, naked Joe Burrow, and naked JJ McCarthy. Jaden Reed was the player I wanted. I mean, I think I just take any quarterback at this point. Yeah, I'll just take an extra quarterback. I need I don't like the Seattle matchup for him, but it is an extra quarterback for that week. All those super late wide receivers that Michael Penix throws to, are really good. And yeah, I'll take Brashard Smith. That might be too early for Brashard Smith. We will find out this week. Like we're coming off of a bye this week. We're gonna find out if Andy Reid is going to start using Brashard Smith or not. Because it looked like he was for 2 weeks. And then the week before, he kind of forgot about him. But KC just got dominated. There was we had no good offense like the whole game against the Bills. The Broncos are a really good defense, but KC coming out of the bye, I think we're going to find out for sure if Brashard Smith is worthwhile going forward. What's up, Charles? How we doing? How you been, Charles? Nice to see you back. So this could be the most expensive Brashard Smith is, and it could be the cheapest he is in the contest. So I think that I kind of think he might just stay there too. Like if he gets his normal 8-9 touches, he's probably just going to stay around there. The thing is, like, if Kareem Hunt gets hurt or Pacheco gets hurt, it doesn't massively affect the Brashard Smith take, right? So the question is, are they going to start relying on the passing game like even more, which I think they should. And if they do that, are they going to allow Brashard Smith to go in there? And it's his pass protection that they don't like. So it will have to be on it won't be like on 3rd and long where they know that sometimes they're going to have to keep him in. He's basically split out every time. If he's gotten better at pass blocking, I think that he will get a huge uptick. The question is did he? I'm going to guess that the answer is no. I don't think that that's going to change in 1 week. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Ant-Man here. Taysom Hill 172. I did move Hill up in my ranks. I did not move him that high, but I moved him up. Yeah, I put him in round 16 on my ranks. So I don't hate that pick. I think drafting him around Barner, Likely, and Strange is right where he needs to go, honestly. Got a little bit of hope on Jaden Higgins this past week. So we're taking Jaden Higgins. I've definitely ranked Taysom Hill in draftable state. Yeah, we'll look at him if he's there. We'll take Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell started to actually see a decent amount of runs. And they're actually putting him in on some of those runs that Derrick Henry used to break open. And he's shown explosion when Derrick Henry has not. They're near the bottom of the league, the Ravens, in explosive run rate. So I think that they've been working on Keaton Mitchell a little more to see if he can't change that. And last week he looked pretty solid doing that. By the time that the fantasy playoffs start, he could have an okay role. Yeah, the interior line is doo-doo. It is. And that's the thesis. Like, Mitchell will get to the outside openings faster than Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry is incredibly fast, but he's got to build his speed up. Mitchell is quick and fast, right? So the theory is that they're trying Mitchell out a little more to see if he can get to the edge before the defense gets to the edge. And it looked like it was working last week a little bit. So I'm not going to be like way overweight on him, but I definitely want some exposure to Keaton Mitchell in this. I don't think he's going to overtake a bunch of carries from Derrick Henry, but I do think that there is a possibility that he takes some carries from Derrick Henry. Like, I don't ever think it'll be a 50-50 split. I mean, and they got Justice Hill still, right? But I do think that we could see Keaton like with a 35% role, which with his explosion is somebody I want exposure to, especially whenever they play the Bengals in Week 15. What is it? Pittsburgh, the Bengals. New England's not a good matchup, and Green Bay isn't. But this is near the end of the draft pick. The first 2 weeks, he could help you get to the finals. Like, if he plays one of those weeks, like, that's fantastic, right? If he has a big week, one of those two versus Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, both of them are teams I could see him having an okay week against. I like the pick. Like, I wouldn't mind being 10-ish%. I don't want to be like 15, 20. I want to be slightly overweight though. So I haven't been going over what I've been doing like I am supposed to. Do you guys want a third draft or not? Let me know. We only got 10 likes, only 8 watching. I can do another draft. That would be it. That's up to you guys. I could also go start my grill up and make some pork steaks and brats, which I'm going to do after I'm done streaming either way. And then whenever I'm done, I'll just do more of these anyway. All right, we got one person say yes, so we will... I need to not take Pat Bryant. That's what we need. Do not take Pat Bryant. Yeah, we'll take Yoshi Boss here. I don't want 100% exposure to Pat Bryant. That's the thing. And honestly, I think he's going to start getting more and more. Like, if somebody wants him, take him. But I think he's going to start getting drafted more and more. And maybe that's because I'm going to do more and more drafts. Maybe that's why. Maybe I will be the reason why. I wouldn't mind Jalen Coker, but I already have a bye week 14 guy. I kind of want somebody I know is going to get some points. There's really nobody left, though. Like, Zacchaeus doesn't feel good. Like, maybe Tyler Lockett becomes draftable now. Yeah, we'll do it again. All right, so the team, we got a 3-6-7-2. Drake May, Sam Darnold, Michael Penix. Running backs, Jacobs, Hampton, DeAndre Swift, Rashad White, Rashard Smith, Keaton Mitchell. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, anchor wide receiver, Shaheed, Tucker, Booty, Jaden Higgins, Yoshi Voss, Pat Bryant. And tight ends, Tyler Warren and Harold Fannin from Schuster's roster. Not a bad team. I like the first team a little better. I don't like the naked Penix very much. I just wanted a third quarterback. Let's look and see what went after him. Uh, Nobody for a while. Tua, Shuck, Mariota. Schuster likes his team. Let's look and see what he done. Why can't I find? There it is. Baker, Nix, Fields, Rico, ETN, Marks, Kamara, Tucker, Chase, Devontae, Jamo, Judy, Godwin, Mims, Vele, Juwan Johnson, Bretton Strange, Gunnar Helm. You got correlation and decent spots. Like I really like their team too. I will happily forget about mine, says Peppertoni. All right, I will be entering another one, and I will be entering in 10 seconds. So anybody who wants in, go ahead and join now. Waiting on one. Hopefully a couple of you guys got in. Put in the timestamp. One moment. All right, so we get the 110. Cooler's got the 102. They got in. Schuster got in at the 108. I got in at I got the 110. I joined before you, and it was a plus 10. That's wild. Anyone? Is he trying to come back? He was so bad last year. He was so bad. I don't know. I wouldn't sign Justin Tucker if I needed a kicker right now. Not after what he did last year. Not at all. Like not at all. Bears fans down bad. In the comment, like what? Why are the Bears fans down bad? By the way. Let me know. I guess I missed it. Oh, they want Justin Tucker? that is not great. if you're out there wanting Justin Tucker on your team, like all the respect in the world to what he done his first X amount of years in the league until last year. Like absolutely probably the best kicker we've ever seen. Up to this point, all that's going to change with them being able to tamper with the balls. That like all the records are going to be broke, and it's going to just get worse and worse. I think accuracy is also going to go up because of that. So, his suspension is over. Got it. Gibbs has 6 more TDs than Bijan, only 10 more fantasy points than Bijan. Yeah, like positive regression, baby, right? You got to wish for it. And so I took Josh Jacobs here last time. If I come down to the same decision, I'm going to take Cook this time. You got Taylor, Robinson, Gibbs, Achane, and then the receivers start going. I would have loved CMC. I would have loved CMC down there. Yeah, we'll take James Cook. I said I was going to take James Cook. We'll go ahead and take James Cook. I would like either one of these. As you see, I really like McBride. But I want to go running back this time. I think the teams feel better when you do that. Or we'll take James Cook plus Josh Jacobs. We will do that every time we get the chance to. That feels really good. Yeah, you get Chicago twice. You got Cincinnati there. Like James Cook doesn't honestly have that good of a schedule for running back points, but he's still James Cook, and the Bills' offense is awesome. I stand by Bijan having being a great 1-1 this year. Yeah, I'm getting a feeling. I did not. Let me look it up. What did he say? Like I kind of think that coaching staff gets canned this year. Like I just think that they basically did. I don't know. I guess their defense has been better than expected, but offensively, it could just be that they the GM has them in a non-winnable situation. I didn't like Penix coming out of college, so he said he basically doesn't have any coach or mentor on the team who helps him if he's struggling. Oh, nice. This is true, Schuster, unless they're within the 5-yard line. If they're at the 5-yard line or ahead or closer, they can't hand the ball to Bijan. That would break fantasy, and we can't have that, right? Like the coaches of the NFL have to do everything they can to only allow 1 or 2 players to break fantasy every year. And this year, the coaches all came together and decided it was going to be Jonathan Taylor. They threw a bunch of names into the sorting hat, and the sorting hat spit out Jonathan Taylor RB1, and the rest of the league just has to play along. That's how this works. Penix is like 33-year-old. Well, so that's something else. Like the NFL, no NFL team like really does that. And it's wild to me because all the quarterbacks in the offseason hire quarterback coaches to help them. That's something that like Anthony Richardson was never really told. Like, so the first 2 years, he never had anybody. He never hired anybody. I don't know how many people told him he should, but that feels like something the team should be investing in, right? Like if I spend millions of dollars on an early draft pick to get this guy set up, I'm like, hey, in the offseason, you need to like work on some things. What guy do you want? Like, let him pick the guy, but what guy do you want? We'll pay for it. Right. Kind of thing. Like, having the quarterback be successful is way more important to your franchise making money than saving the money that a quarterback coach is going to cost. But, owners continually make bad decisions. So I'm fine with them continually making bad decisions. We just took Hampton with Josh Jacobs, so we'll take Chase Brown this time. We're going to go heavy running back here. And I just took Tyler Warren with Jacobs as well. So I would love to get one of these 2 wide receivers, even one of these 3 wide receivers. I could also just take RJ Harvey and be done at running back. I might just do that too. Look, if these 3 okay, I'm good now. If all 3 of them went, I would have just taken Harvey and been done at running back. At CMC, Barkley, Breece Hall, that feels really good. Although Barkley hasn't honestly been that good this year. T. Higgins, thank you. That's actually the one I preferred of the group. We got the first week bring back situation there with the Bills, and we got Chase Brown plus Higgins. Question is, how early do I have to take Burrow? What is the Chase drafter doing? Things that make sense. Quarterback, Joe Burrow goes at 127. I'll just take him. I'll see if he makes it to 106. The AJ Brown, I cry my way to getting 15 targets game is coming. I don't know. Well, they need to just pass the ball more. They are not good at running the ball right now. With Lane Johnson being out, it's only going to get worse. So, and Devonta Smith has just been better over the last year. If you just go look at all the stats, basically for the last year, AJ Brown's just been better. So and Eagles throw it, yeah. AJ Brown has to learn how to run a slant first. I mean, I guess he did some of that before, but put the ball in the dude's hand. So Coolers had an option of Tyler Warren here and chose not to take him all the way at 47. He gets Harvey at 50. I love this team. I don't like the Genty pick, though. But Bijan, Genty, Collins, Metcalf, Harvey feels really good. I'm curious to see, Dobbins was put on season-ending IR, I believe. Oh, no, he's just not practicing. Yeah, he's not, it's not official. It looks grim is what it is. Worried if I took Warren, I'd fall behind at maybe. You might have, but I'm obviously not worried about it. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to take Drake May again? Do we want to take Addison? I'm going to take Drake May again. And we're going to take one of these two. If we take Travion, we're done. This kind of team could easily get Travion through. So I think I would prefer, I might prefer to get Travion. And then, you know what? I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, we're going to do that instead. We're going to take Travion Henderson with Drake May there. We're going to be done at running back. And this will be a 3-4-9 whatever. So 3-4-9-2. So that it's probably going to be a 3-4-9-2. Maybe a 3-4-8-3. Might be a 3-4-8-3. I don't know. Had to do the math real quick. It's been a while since I've been drafting teams. For some reason, it wasn't really clicking in my head. All right, so through 6 rounds, we have Drake May, running backs, James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, Travion Henderson, and wide receivers, T. Higgins only. No tight end, only one receiver. Only 3 running backs for the first week. No quarterback for the first week. It's an uphill battle, guys. But I do really like with the three smash guys there. I don't mind adding on Travion there. I should definitely be able to support it. I have good matchups in those weeks too. Chicago, Cincinnati, and Buffalo, like in that first week, like those are all horrible run defenses. So I think I should be able to get plenty of points at running back there. And I mean, there's honestly a solid chance I flex a running back week one with just those three. So I think giving that up makes some sense. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't worry about falling too far behind at receiver in these. I worry about falling behind a running back. I think I didn't notice the person near me that could be auto drafting. Is their name Whohames? Just asking for a friend. Oh, yeah. I'm going to guess the Garrett Wilson drafter might be. Yeah, I can't take McMillan here. I don't want to take Shaheed a second draft in a row. I will if Pierce is gone. So we will take Pierce. Yeah, once Garrett was picked, the fast pick, you think it's auto? Man, I almost just accidentally ended the stream going to close a window down. That would have been fantastic. That would have been really fun. I do like the Kincaid pick. I was debating on going Kincaid there. I don't like. I nuked Romeo Dobbs in my rankings because I don't know what to do with him right now. So do I want Shaheed or? I think I want Shaheed again. I like this. I like their matchups. Indianapolis and Carolina. I feel pretty positive about Shaheed rest of the season. But I have three just gigantic, like huge spike guys, right? So with the next few picks, I need to make like adding like I don't know an ugly pick like a Jacoby Myers or something would make sense to this team, right? I give myself some floor. Although Alec Pierce is wide receiver one right now in Indy. Hey, what's up, Paulino? I actually have moved DJ Moore down in the ranks a little bit, and I've moved I've moved Burden up. So Burden, I have at 107, and his rank is 141. And then DJ Moore, so I guess I could just type in Chicago. DJ Moore, I moved down like 8 spots to 97. I have them fairly close in rankings. I think that the week it happens, we're going to see them flip in ADP. And I kind of want to get more Burden before that happens and then more after that happens. I think that we will see it. I think it's going to happen in the next couple weeks. I'm not going to have 0 DJ Moore, but I'm not going to have much, I don't think. And that could be like, it's not like the Bears have a great schedule either, right? They play the Packers twice. They play the Browns once. So like that's the negative to it is their schedule is just not that good. But I like the thinking. That's the kind of things that I'm looking for right now. He's one of R.I.P. Dobbins and Goddard. Travion in Dynasty, I haven't moved him way up yet. Um, and to be honest with you, I don't make actual Dynasty rankings right now. So we will we will get to those. I'm going to go ahead and just so Darnold did go. So I will take Burrow if he makes it to me. If he doesn't, I will take Loveland. So yeah, that's what we will do here. Guy offered me Lamb and Aaron Jones for Henderson and Ibuka. So Lamb and Aaron Jones for Henderson and Ibuka. I think I want the Henderson Ibuka side in Dynasty just because Aaron Jones is his last year, right? I I think I definitely want that side of it though. You don't want Colson Loveland. You want me to have Colson Loveland. You love me. You love me and you want me to have Colson Loveland. Facts. He does not. He's auto drafting. Uh I just took Trey Tucker in the last one. I mean, I think Jawan Jennings is a great pick here in this contest. We're going to go ahead and take him. Probably end up with like a naked Drake May team. Yeah, this starts week 14. Have you been drafting it that it starts week 13? Is that what you've been doing? Because it, like, based on how the other contests happened, like I think it should have started week 13 also, so you have a different final sweat. But I also think that if they wanted to keep the week 14, like start at week 14, they should have moved the third quarter back to weeks 9. Yeah, so weeks 9 to 13. Because week 13 is Thanksgiving week, which has 0 buys in it. So that would have given you a finals week with no buys. And if Brett or anybody is listening, because I know every once in a while he'll listen, that's something that, in my opinion, just makes more sense for the future. Like if these are going to be the thing next year again, I love these contests. I hope they are. So, but if that's the case, that is what I would like to see. Like look ahead at where the weeks with no buys are and try to make those your finals weeks. Yeah, like it being week 14 and not 16 is a gigantic difference because Dowdle versus Seattle doesn't feel great, right? Like it doesn't feel like they're going to be ahead in that game at all. So, yeah, I would love to get Judy all the way back. To be honest, I might just like Joe Burrow, Drake May, Burrow getting Buffalo feels pretty solid. Could take a gamble on old Matthew Golden here. Okay, so Judy does go. Yeah, I definitely need a lot of that pick. I think hurt me. So Hunter Henry, I don't love the pick right now, but I might reach down to get him as a Drake. Like I actually have the Drake May stack already. We're good. We're gonna take Matthew Golden, and hopefully wrap around and also get Luther Burden here at pick 135. That would be awesome. Kayshawn Booty goes. I'm glad that he went because I would have been tempted to take him with Drake May, but I already got a week 14 by there in Jennings. So that is like, I'm glad he went. And Blake Corum to me is an awesome pick right now. I just can't be taking. Yeah, we got somebody here stream sniping. But we will go ahead and use that to take a Hunter Henry share, I think. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to take Hunter Henry here. Have a bye week 14 at every position, basically. Probably not the best strategy, but that's what we're doing. Because, like, basically, the last 3 picks, they took exactly who I queued up and before ADP. I guess that makes sense. He's going, like, he's got a Dunze. They were both Bears, so he might not be because he's got a Dunze there. He's got Loveland. He's got Burden. Making a big game stack. Yeah, he probably isn't. Probably just building out a team stack, quarterbackless team stack there. Yeah, my wide receivers, like, I actually feel fine with them. Like, T. Higgins, Pierce, Shaheed, if Golden can get anything going, right? Like the Golden run out has been fantastic. He's just not done anything. Like, Jaden Reed started cooking. He gets hurt. Christian Watson wasn't on the team for the first, like, 6 weeks, right? So you had the early bye week to get acclimated. Now you get Romeo Dobbs hurt. Tucker Kraft's out. Like, Golden has every single opportunity to prove or to get out there to do some stuff. Yes, he was out last week. But, like, I get it that it's probably Matt LaFleur more than it. Like, I actually blame Jordan Love more than anything else because when Golden has been open, Jordan Love has missed him a lot. So, yeah, Kraft injury. Like, my portfolio is absolutely decimated right now. Like, it is an absolute tatters. And then, like, some of the bigger stands I made haven't worked out either. So, like, you can have some stands that don't work out, that don't kill your portfolio if your stands that are working out don't get hurt. But when both of those things happen, the whole portfolio just goes to crap. Like, Jarquez, like, I don't regret my Jarquez Hunter 19% or whatever, 20%, whatever it was I got. I admit it was bad. I don't regret doing it. But it hurts me more because the stands that I had that were going to work out, like James Conner, being 13% on him, the Joe Mixon stuff, like all of that stuff, like, killed my portfolio because some of the stuff that I believe that I was right on didn't work out because of injury. We'll see if he stream snipe one of those two. There you go. You can take Jaden Reed next. Sever. Jaden Reed is your next pick. If you want to stream snipe me, go ahead. Have at it. Okay. Okay, never mind. You don't get the chance to do that. Sorry, guy. The other guy done it. He got you. He stream sniped the stream sniper. Look at that. Look at Henry there. Look at Henry there. One up. That's pretty good. All right, so the team right now: Drake May, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud. Running backs: James Cook, Jacobs, Chase Brown, Trayvon Henderson, Dunn. Wide receivers: T. Higgins, Alec Pierce, Shaheed, Jawan Jennings, Golden, Jaden Higgins, Hunter Henry, the only tight end. I need 2 tight ends probably here. I actually don't think that these wide receivers are that bad. T. Higgins, Pierce, Shaheed, Jennings, Golden, Higgins. Like, it needs some help for Golden, like for Higgins to continue how he's been the last couple of weeks, and Golden to finally get used, and Jordan Love to hit him when he's used. It needs those 2 things to go right, but I don't hate the wide receiver room. Yeah, I was drafting Evans over. I mean, you can't really predict the injuries. I know some people say they can. You can't predict the injuries. Some players are more likely to get hurt based on age, and like recovery time is worse if they do get hurt because of age. So like you could point to that on the Evans stuff. But until last year, Evans had really not missed a lot of time in his career. That was one of the reasons I had to stand on him in the pre-draft stuff. Like, you go back and look, like, until like he'd missed like maybe 1 or 2 games a year at most for his entire career. And then last year he missed a couple, and the year before that he missed 1 or 2. So predicting that he was going to get hurt, like, I don't buy anybody. Like, anybody who says that they were right because they predicted an injury, they're just victory lapping because something, like, they just want to be right that their fade, like, they want to prove that their fade was good in any way possible. So when something negative happens to the player that they were fading, they take credit for it in any way they can. Like, I'm not going to take credit in my Jaden Reed fade because he got hurt. That's not how that works. I was wrong. Like, I was wrong in that fade. And I was even more wrong because Golden didn't do anything afterwards. So, like, but a lot of people will be out there saying that they were right the whole time because of that stuff. To me, that's not how that works. So maybe I'm the idiot here. I don't know. But I'm going to believe that that's not how that works, and that it's more process-based than that. We will absolutely take. I mean, Brandon Ayuk does get interesting down here, though. Where did I rank him? Okay, I ranked him there, 188. Yeah, like, people fading Xavier Worthy, victory lapping his injury, like, and like, you could say that he's not done anything when he can, but he's not 100%. Like, he's not playing 100%. So the fade, to me, you didn't, like, yes, you won, but that doesn't mean that you were correct. Maybe I'm viewing it wrong. I don't know. Just a little thing, the way I feel about it. Let me know in the chat. Do you think I'm wrong? I'm probably wrong. That was the time for me to take old Taysom Hill. I was too busy vamping about that to pay attention to the board. This is the perfect Taysom Hill team, too. You get Tampa Bay that week. Definitely going to, like, Terrence Ferguson's starting to get interesting, too. I didn't remember to put him in my rankings, but Terrence Ferguson actually makes some sense to be drafted here. I will take one of them and a wide receiver, I think. Kyle Williams is mildly interesting. I do think that he gets moved back to his old role, which is the bench, when Booty comes back. But we'll find out. We'll find out if that's true. And I was doing this as well. I was drafting Evans over Hill and JSN. Like that was bad because JSN is the best pick on the board. Like him and Jonathan Taylor are the best 2 picks on the board. But that's why that was bad. Like you can't really say it was bad over Hill or not because neither one of that we didn't see the outcome. We never got to see that outcome. But I have a very hard time saying that Evans would have outperformed JSN. Like I wouldn't believe anybody who would tell you that would be happening right now. I'm glad that when JSN fell to the 3-4 turn, I started taking a lot more of him. Because I was fading him in the middle of the third. When he went to the 3-4 turn, I started taking him a little bit. I got to almost 4%, which is still a big fade, but I did correct it some. Well, I don't think Mike Evans was a terrible play either. Just because those 2 players got hurt doesn't mean that they were bad plays. It means you got unlucky. I mean, you can say that they're both older players, more likely to get hurt, the timetable, all that stuff. And I thought that stuff was baked into their price. I was still out on Tyreek Hill as well, but I thought that it was baked into their price that they were the injury risk was. Because if you told me if Mike Evans was definitely playing all 16 games or 17 games, he would have been he would have been going around where Devonta Adams did, right? There we go. We get Taysom Hill back. Pepper Tony not in the lobby. I get me a Taysom Hill share. Go Ravens. That's all I have to say. And you know what? We'll go ahead and take Yoshi Boss too if he comes back around, and take a third guy there. Actually, I hate this. Michael Wilson's the play. I forgot all about him. Zay Jones just tore his he tore his Achilles, which puts Michael Wilson back as the number 2. The passing offense is way better now with Jacoby Brissett, and with Kyler probably not going to be part of the team anymore. I've completely faded Michael Wilson all offseason, mostly because of Kyler and partially because he doesn't spike. And I didn't believe Kyler would have an offense that works. In the very last round now, with Harrison hurt a little bit, we don't know how long that's going to take. He's wide receiver 1 this week. It doesn't matter for this contest, but if the Harrison thing lingers, he's wide receiver 1, right? And he gets the Bengals. He gets the Bengals in the last week. Although they have been shutting down wide receiver 1s, which, if Harrison comes back, is positive for Michael Wilson because they have a corner that's really good against wide receiver 1s. And if Harrison comes back, I do think that Michael Wilson could be a good play for week 17, which is not great for my portfolio. All right, we got Drake May, Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud. Running backs, James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, Travion Henderson. Wide receivers, T. Higgins, Alec Pierce, Shaheed, Jawan Jennings, Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, Cedric Tillman, Michael Wilson. Tight ends, Hunter Henry, Isaiah Likely, and the biggest swing you could possibly make, Taysom Hill. He made the stream, guys. You're all welcome. I had fun. It was a good time. I will be live with Big Draft Energy at 6 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. I will post that link in my Discord whenever I go live. It's a start-sit show. We also go game by game and give predictions. I will post that in the Discord whenever I go live. If you're not in the Discord, the link is down below. It's free. Peace, everybody. Have a great weekend. Good luck. Oh, also, I will be live in 3.5 hours with Candyman. We will be doing a breakdown of the week and drafting a couple dog bowls. Peace.